I think that Jacinda Ardern was one of the most remarkable leaders we were ever lucky to have. I think that her ability to communicate and get us through COVID was just remarkable. The problem with Jacinda was she was incremental in the domestic policy and in reforming the neoliberal economic hegemony. She just didn't have the bold enough policies to be able to take the tax yoke off the poor people and put it on the rich. She wasn't able to do that. But we saw research this year that showed us her action saved 20,000 lives. And when she stood down at the beginning of the year, because we were such a shitty people, we broke her. Labour were good and could fight the COVID battle, but we lost the COVID piece. All their rebuilding back from COVID amounted to was going back to the same incrementalism. And that was never going to be able to work. And it broke a lot of people's hearts. They were looking for transformative change and housing and poverty and education, and we didn't get those. We got some first steps, and we also had a once in a century pandemic novel virus to contend with. But when Chippy came in and he had the opportunity to make some significant policy with a wealth tax that would have given every New Zealander $10,000 tax-free and would have gone after the rich pricks, the really rich pricks, not just people with an extra house, like really rich pricks. When he failed to do that, when he failed to do anything more meaningful than take GST or fresh fruit and vegetable, he didn't sound like he understood the pain of working people. He didn't sound like he understood the pain of people with that first house mortgage and those rates just going up and up and up and up. And it didn't sound like he understood their hurt. And so they didn't vote. And they turned, in some cases, to crazies who promised them all sorts of nonsense. So the election ended up being a grudge fuck against Labour, and people voted for something they really didn't know. Most people couldn't actually tell you what New Zealand First policy was, or ACT policy, or national policy. It was just like, I hate this. And we've ended up with a government that is bound only in its enthusiasm to hurt beneficiaries, renters, workers, and the environment. And I mean, we've gone from New Zealand into Q Zealand now that New Zealand First are injecting this insanity, this pure, like Telegram. It's like you could literally pick these policies up off Telegram, right? It's that nutty.
Yeah.
And I think
I've seen them percolating.
Yeah. Right. So I think this has been a terrible year, and it is one where the left really need to step back. And what are we here for? What are we actually doing? Because if we do not have the ability and the strength to tax the mega wealthy in the areas that they function in, be it a financial transaction tax, be it a ghost tax, be it a wealth tax, be it a capital gains tax, however, just have the balls to actually go after the buggers so that we can actually increase the capacity of the state, because the left has got to argue that we want a state that helps people and builds the nation, not tears it down and punishes them. And so we need that extra money to buy, not just more doctors, we need more hospitals, not just more teachers. We need more schools. We need infrastructure that's sustainable. I mean, we've got so many challenges coming our way, and this government has produced no solutions. Remember all the stuff that they have rammed through under urgency and repealed. They've got nothing to replace it with. So everything that we've just wiped of the last 6 years, they haven't replaced it with any policy. So we're going right back to 2017 and the same bloody problems. And for the 600,000 who are reliant on food banks every month, the 27,000 on social housing waitlists, the 300,000 in electricity poverty, for those people, time's running out. So I think there's going to be an enormous amount of bloody suffering next year, and it's going to be a real kick in the ass to a lot of us about having to bloody bond together and work together, because this government has to be resisted at all costs and on all fronts.
I can pinpoint the start of this terrible timeline that we're on, right? And I know you're glowing about Jacinda, and that's fair, but a little bit of a reality check. She did ask, and this is the most egregious thing any New Zealander's ever done to this country. She did ask people to be kind to each other. And really, that was the start of the rot. That was the start of the rot. That was too far. If I want to be a cunt to someone in a supermarket line, I should be able to. I want to park at a disabled car park. I want to burn my rubbish in a children's playground. How dare she? So I've started forming my own local brown shirts organization, and we're going to go from there. Follow me on Telegram. Peace out.